Over the last 20 years, more than 14 million people have been cured of leprosy, and the number of newly detected cases has fallen dramatically. But in the last decade, progress has stagnated, threatening our chances of completely eradicating the disease. I'm Dr. Louise Peeling, and I'm here in Cambodia to see how a new zero transmission strategy is being used to track down and treat potential sufferers in the hope that leprosy can be wiped out once and for all.
Leprosy is a chronic infection caused by the bacterium Mycobacterium leprae. The disease spreads in droplets of nasal mucus between people in close and frequent contact. It damages peripheral nerves, and as the disease progresses, nerves swell, hands, feet, and facial skin become numb, and muscles paralyzed, leading to deformity. Loss of sensation also increases the risk of injury, with open wounds often becoming infected. Leprosy is entirely curable, and if treated in the early stages, disability can be averted. Yet it still affects thousands of people around the world.
So, Sapal, how big a problem is leprosy in Cambodia?
Yeah, the leprosy in Cambodia was stated by the National Leprosy Control Program, saying that the leprosy in Cambodia is eliminated since 1997. But the reality, we still have many leprosy in Cambodia.
Why haven't we got rid of leprosy yet if we've got effective treatment?
Even there exists the National Leprosy Control Program, but their activity is limited. So they cannot access to the rural area. So that's why the detection delay.
Over time, patients lose sensation in their hands and feet, meaning that any cuts and sores they develop are painless. If these become infected, it can result in the loss of fingers and toes.
His left foot is a big ulcer.
Right.
And the ulcer may be processed to the, we call cancer. So they make the decision to amputate him.
Yeah. Is it painful? Because you've just had your surgery on Thursday.
Just a little bit pain now.
Just a little bit.
Yes. After I get a new legs, I can walk.
Yes.
Maybe I will go back to continue my study. The physio, we have physio room, and they teach me how to make an exercise with the hand, with the leg, with the mouth, and with the eye.
Yeah. Can you tell us what music you're listening to?
Hop, like hip hop.
Oh, hip hop.
Yeah. Sometimes sing loudly in here also.
Yeah.
When feeling stressed and the doctor comes, oh, be quiet.
Thank you very much, and good luck for your leg and getting your new leg and
Yes,
learning to walk with it.
For all you too.
Thank you very much. Hello. Can I sit down on your bed? Thank you. Hi. Uchin, can you show us how leprosy has affected you? And then your feet too, with the knees. Yeah. With Uchim, we can see here that it's affected the longer nerves in the body, and it's caused the toes to become amputated because this area gets numb. And then what happens is people damage it just doing their daily activities, walking around, gets knocked, gets an ulcer. The damage itself can actually take off the toes of the person. So it's affected the eye. Thank you, Uchim. Thank you. Medicines to cure leprosy are available free of charge all around the world. These are provided by pharmaceutical company Novartis through the World Health Organization and have been hugely successful in the fight against leprosy. But recently, progress has stagnated. In June 2013, experts from around the world met to develop a new strategy to completely halt the transmission of leprosy.
The last mile in fighting leprosy proves to be the most difficult one. What we now do is look at every patient who is diagnosed, especially, and look up his contact persons in his family, his household, the neighbors, his colleagues, examine them for leprosy, and if they do have signs of leprosy, obviously they should be treated fully with a multi-drug therapy. Leprosy is also very much associated with a stigma. When you get a diagnosis of leprosy, you may be excluded from society completely in some countries, or you may lose your job, which very often is the case. Our plan is to introduce that in several pilot areas in 6 countries in the world to demonstrate that this is feasible. And when we have critical mass of data, we could convince the rest of the world to apply that as well.
Yes.
And this is what we hope to do.
ហើយពេលដែលយើងរកឃើញអ្នកជំងឺដែលមានស្លាកស្នាមតិចតួចដែលយើងគិតថាសង្ស័យថាជាអ្នកជំងឺហុងសិនហើយតើយើងត្រូវធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េច
So these guys are health workers and they're going to go out into their local communities and here they're learning how to diagnose and treat leprosy.
ហើយបើអត់ព្យាបាលទេគឺវាមានពិការភាពហើយ
Before we do only the contact examination, not the labor.
Right.
But now after we check the neighbors surrounding 300 meters, more cases they take it.
So 300 meters around that house where the person was identified.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really tracking down leprosy.
The aim is how to go to eradication about the leprosy control program.
To eradicate it.
Yeah, eradicate it. But it take long time.
អញ្ចឹងតើនេះកណាមានអីដែលអត់ទាន់យល់សួរខ្ញុំមកវិញណា
In a country still recovering from civil war and genocide, the basic healthcare provision available means that knowledge about leprosy is limited. A key element of the strategy is raising awareness of the disease, reducing the stigma surrounding it, and informing the communities that the health workers are coming. Before the contact tracing begins, the team put on a festival for the local community. So the village is just getting ready for the theatre show where people are going to be told about leprosy and they're actually going to announce it on big loudspeakers going around the village. Hi. Hello. Can I come with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant. Right, this is fun. This is not what I was expecting with leprosy, to be driving along in the van.
បាទក្តីជួនដំណឹងសេចក្តីជួនដំណឹងសូមជម្រាបជូនដំណឹងដល់ពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនទាំងអស់បានជ្រាបថាបាទនៅរាត្រីយប់នេះបាទគឺនៅក្នុងបរិវេណវត្តអង្គសង្ឃបាទគឺមានសិល្បៈមកសម្ដែងចែកជូនពុកម៉ែទស្សនាបាទនៅរាត្រីយប់នេះ
This man doesn't seem to need to breathe.
កម្មវិធីរបស់យើងខ្ញុំចាប់ផ្ដើមនៅម៉ោង 7:30 នាទីយប់នេះហើយ
This is a key element of the strategy, is to go out into the communities and tell people about the show, where they're going to learn about leprosy.
សេចក្តីជួនដំណឹងសូមជម្រាបជូនដំណឹងដល់អស់លោកលោកស្រីលេខកញ្ញាលោកតាលោកយាយអង្គប្រុសស្រីពុកម៉ែពុកមីបងប្អូនក្មួយៗទាំងអស់សូមអរគុណ
I'm amazed by how many people arrive for the show. It really demonstrates the power of putting on a show for communities such as this one.
ការជួយខ្លួនតើយើងទៅព្យាបាលនៅទីណាដើម្បីកុំឲ្យខាតពេលហើយក្រុមការងាររបស់ខ្ញុំនឹងចាប់ផ្ដើមសម្ដែងរឿងតែតមើលសួរឲ្យទៀតឲ្យសួរមកអត់ដល់ឆ្កែហើយបានវានោមលើកជើងមួយហើយនឹងទេបានវាលើកជើងមួយហើយបានវាលើកជើងហើយមកវាលើកជើងក្រោយទាំងពីរមិនប្រកាប់ទៅមុខយើងបានវាលើកតែមួយ
This show is telling the village about leprosy. Eradicating leprosy is as much about information as it is medicine. The actors perform parables about leprosy to educate the community about the reality of the disease and also to inform them about the contact tracing that will take place the next day.
Now we come to the former of leprosy patient that have registered in 5 years ago. And then we're going to check their family and also the neighbor.
How many people do you think we're going to have to check?
I think it's around 50.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've got work to do then, haven't we? Yeah, should we go?
Yeah.
The team gathers at the home of the cured leprosy patient, from where they will head out into the surrounding community to trace his contacts, to check if anyone has been infected.
So this is the former of leprosy patient.
Hello. Hello. Nice to meet you. You were diagnosed 5 years ago. Do you have any symptoms from your leprosy still? And who lives with you at home? 3 children. Does that keep you very busy? Yeah. so you have one child affected by leprosy. Can we meet your child that is affected? Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Lou. Dr. Peeling, nice to meet you. How old are you?
7 years old.
When did you get diagnosed?
No, kind of more.
Okay, and how did they diagnose you? How did they know that you had leprosy?
Got been mưa now.
Ah, where is the patch? Can you show us? Ah, thank you. So it's very, very subtle. So the healthcare workers are being trained how to do the feather test, where they touch the skin lightly and the patient is asked to report if they can feel it. Where the leprosy is, they can't feel it because the area is now numb. The team confirms that Jun Rami has been entirely cured of leprosy thanks to the medication. What do you think might have happened had the healthcare workers not come to find you?
Ai bằng coi chừng người dương dù tới khai gì cả.
Yes. So this is how easy it is to treat leprosy. There's no big long needles, there's no drips. There's literally a small packet of pills that the patient just keeps in the home, just takes one every day, and it's free.
Con sấy mua ấy, chim chăn liệp mình nhớ, con sấy ní, họ đào đà nó, họ đào đầm pin đà, con sấy.
What's happening here is really important. This is part of the contact tracing. The healthcare worker here is verifying with the dad that they've got all the members of the family and who else are the neighbours around in the area. All of this is meticulously recorded. So we're going to cover an area of about 300 metres, asking to go into the homes and examine people, looking for the signs like we saw just back there with the pale patches, or asking if people have symptoms. Yeah, and then Thank you. And it was a large group of ladies. Okay. In the same village is another previous patient who is re-examined to ensure the treatment has been entirely successful. Hello, hi.
So this is Chai Sopias, is a former leprosy patient.
Okay. When you had your diagnosis of leprosy, how were your friends with you? Did they act differently or were they just the same? And does that still happen, or are your friends more understanding of the condition now? Much better. They've actually just identified a little area here that you can see on this young man's left leg, the top of it, on the skin. The feeling for the nerves on the inside of the arm, just by the elbow, sometimes they can be thickened with the disease. These are the most typical nerves that can be affected. After various non-invasive tests, the team finally confirms that Prak has leprosy. So have we made the diagnosis in this young man?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is leprosy?
Yeah.
Will this young man start his treatment today? To start it today? Yeah.
នៅរៀនដែរចប់ទី12ហើយ
Our clinician here has recorded the area of skin that was affected, where we saw the depigmented patch and where it was numb. And what's absolutely vital is that this young man's family members that are potential contacts with the disease are all recorded on here, so that they can either be checked today or the health of the visitors come back and check them another day when they're all present.
So this is very important of the contact tracing survey because we found him very early, no disability.
Yeah.
If we will be wait until 3 years or 4 years more, he will have disability. So this is the very, very important.
Great news.
Okay.
Thank you.
អញ្ចឹងបាច់ស្អីទេណា
Prax's diagnosis means that he can start treatment immediately and should be able to cure himself entirely. It's a perfect example of the importance of this strategy. The team will continue to go from community to community, tracing the contacts of previous patients. With this new strategy and the existing drugs, the hope must be that one day, no one need suffer from the devastating impact of leprosy.